Okey, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. To Bella, waalaikumsalam. Hasniza, alright. Alhamdulillah, we meet again for our last class today. Waalaikumsalam. Aziz, or okay. For last class today, yes, as mentioned by Bella in the WhatsApp group, these two chapters actually used to be there in the books, but the new one, the new version, have been eliminated this topic. Yet to be still in our course information, so we try to go through, and I think it's very simple one. Talking about environment for chapter 10 and human capital for chapter 11. Actually, that one is very important to understand its concept. Okay, let's make it fast because we want to cover two topic today. Okay, talking about environment, we start by looking at the pollution. So, what happens around us that we are really concerned. We need to take care of our surrounding is the pollution. We can call problems. Okay, so it happen in the water, including air, also the land, as well as the sound. Kita ada pencemaran air, walaupun air tu nampak macam air juga kan, pencemaran udara, pencemaran tanah dan pencemaran bunyi. And talking about pollution, you guys have been aware of it, and because last time in school teachers always talk about it. You might have a lot of campaign, maybe some seminar or activity to solve this kind of problem, right? So I just go very fast because you can get information by searching, and if let's say happen to come out the exam, it's simply for you to answer well enough. Maknanya kalau keluar soalan pun rasanya semua orang boleh jawab berkaitan dengan pencemaran ni. Okay. For example lah, just to give some new current information about our air water pollution that really stuck some place of Selangor area from getting enough water, and even the water supply have been cut, and some of us having that kind of problem. Macam tu. Berlaku juga di Selangor ni, kebetulan terlalu singkat kan dia punya masa dia, kejadian dia berlaku bila kekerapan air itu terputus, right? And yes, some of citizen do blame the government, Selangor government, kerajaan negeri kita ni, but that is out of control lah. Number one, kita nampak benda tu memang sesuatu yang berlaku di luar jangkaan, bukan disengajakan. Meaning, if it happens, so we take action to those people who pollutes the water, macam tu. Dan kalau ia berlaku dua kali, mungkin penguatkuasa perlu meningkat lah kan, kenapa ia boleh berlaku. Okay. For air, I think we already know due to the smoke. Still kan, it happen nowadays. We try to alert people about that. Okay. Land biasanya berkaitan dengan sampah sarap, terkawal. Kita lihat hari ni agak terkawal, jaranglah kita dengar, kecuali pembuangan sampah yang kurang teratur kan. Dia bukanlah merata tempat, tapi dia berlaku pada satu tempat yang bukan sepatutnya dibuang sampah, tapi berlaku di situ. Okay. Nak kata kita sentiasa buang sampah sekarang, kita nampak jarang lah. Moral and ethics kita dah meningkat. Sound bukan disengajakan, sebab it might be a part of the handling machine things kan. Kalau orang sebelah buat rumah, kilang-kilang, pembangunan dan pembinaan. Alright. Continue. Due to the modern era, kan, sebabkan era yang moden ni kita menggunakan all the technology, and all the factories are there. So how to avoid, kan? Maybe it's very difficult, but to reduce using certain tools, maybe device that can slow down the pollution or restricting area of pollution, macam tu. Sebab penggunaan teknologi hari ni memang akan berlakunya pencemaran. Mana mungkin kita boleh terelak, kan? Benda tu adalah side effectnya of using technology, and having factory to produce thing, we need all of that, kan? Air kena halang pun banyak ada bisingnya, kan? Tapi kita boleh kurangkan, especially macam pencemaran asap disebabkan oleh kenderaan. Kita boleh gunakan tanpa plumbum last time. Kilang-kilang yang mungkin mengeluarkan sisa bertoksik perlu dirawat terlebih dahulu. Asap kilang pula boleh kena ditapis sebelum dilepaskan, all those things lah. Okay. Next, impact, kesan dia, berlakunya disaster, destruction, bencana alam dan juga kemusnahan alam. Dan saya rasa semua orang faham lah macam mana disaster, bencana alam ni. Kadang-kadang kita nampak kalau terlalu banyak sangat sampah sarap yang kurang diuruskan dengan baik, berlakulah banjir kilat. Destruction pula, mungkin kalau kita biarkan pencemaran air tadi terus berlaku, kemusnahan habitat. Alright. Very simple example saya bagi. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know. Okay, continue. Okay, this is some impact. Example just now macam tsunami, okay, drought, flood, earthquake, landslide. Sometimes yes, it's happen naturally, and some other time it might be because of the pollution. Dia boleh berlaku disebabkan oleh keadaan yang memang asalnya seperti itu, memang berlakunya, kan, segala bencana ni. Dan cuma kadang-kadang ia berlaku juga disebabkan oleh kesilapan pengurusan alam kita. Alright. Reason and why it happened. As mentioned just now, improper disposal, maksudnya pengurusan yang kurang baik, nak menghapuskan atau lupuskan sampah sarap. Manufacturing waste, macam kes pencemaran air tadi, kan. Cara pembuangan tu mungkin perlu dibaiki. Sebab tu kita bukanlah menafikan kewujudan kilang yang menghasilkan bahan buangan ni, kan. Tapi kita nak diuruskan dengan baik, kan. Okay. Chemical oil, kan, berlakunya tumpuan minyak, kan. Ni dululah, kan. Cuma yang paling baru ni sebabkan oleh letupan Beirut, kan. Kita ingat Lebanon tu hasil daripada kesilapan chemical juga. Dia sebenarnya benda tu adalah bahan buangan yang disimpan, and suddenly happen to be an explosion. Sampai tahap macam itulah, kan, bencana berlaku, kan. Okay. So jaga-jaga. Hopefully di Malaysia selamat lah. Okey, masalah lain yang mungkin timbul disebabkan oleh pencemaran ni seperti penyakit. Kalau air tercemar, senang kita kena penyakit. Boleh kena jangkitan kalau kita tak uruskan sampah dengan baik. Okey, adanya binatang perosak yang bagi impact pada kesihatan kita, kan. Illness, kan, kita bertambah-tambah, kan, sakit lagi disebabkan contohnya macam mungkin demam biasa tu, kan, okey lagi, kan, kalau sampai kena cerit berit, kan, diarrhea lah, kan. Apa lagi yang mungkin biasanya disebabkan oleh keracunan lah, ataupun mungkin juga disebabkan masalah kulit lah. Kalau kita kurang jaga bahagian kebersihan. Okay, very simple one. Continue with that. other consequence kan, apa lagi kan, kesan-kesan lain yang mungkin boleh berlaku kan, seperti perubahan cuaca. Yes, ada tempat yang mungkin makin panas, global warming. Ada juga tempat yang mungkin paras air meningkat, so laut makin deras, so ada kesan dia sebenarnya, macam tu kan, hakisan, destroy habitat. Yes, kemusnahan lah tempat tinggal binatang ataupun tumbuhan. Melting iceberg, berlaku pencairan ais. Ini pun antara kesan juga yang kita bimbang. Pernah dikaji satu hari nanti kalau kita terus berlaku pencairan ais ni, ia akan menyebabkan paras laut meningkat dan sebahagian 1/3 balance tanah ni pula akan berkurangan, dipenuhi oleh air. Rising, sebenarnya rising tu ada typo sikit, rising sea water, meningkatnya paras laut. Okay, I think very easy there. Continue. Measurement, apa langkah-langkah yang kita ambil? Of course kita pun selalu dengar enforcement of law kan. Apa ni? Penguatkuasa undang-undang tadi. So undang-undang, kita nampak it happen that people getting fined due to their mistake, and but yet to happen for those people who are actually involving in a big scale. Contohnya macam kes kilang tadi kan, adakah ia sebenarnya berlaku denda kan, bayaran kepada kerajaan negeri untuk we call to cover up all the budget due to the loss because of problem caused by them. And awareness campaign, yes, kita buat campaign kesedaran, evaluation project, make sure that all the project is being value, going to be assessed and going to be monitor, macam tu, monitoring, assessment. Kita nak check balik nilaikan projek betul tak ikut SOP kan. Kita baru dengar SOP. Sebenarnya SOP ni adalah gerak kerja pada semua bidang. Okay. Dan sentiasa berlaku pemantauan, because we are conserve this heritage kan. Kita nak pelihara warisan daripada nenek moyang dan kepada anak cucu. Okay. Alright, a lot of clips actually I'm prepare for you to look at it later on, and just what to do today, think and analyze. Tengok, fikir dan cuba kan, kita kata mentelaah kan, apa yang berlaku tadi, pencemaran tu. Okey. Alright, this is chapter end of topic environment. Ada lagi? Habis. Okay, for next chapter, let's look at it. Last one. Okay. Any question so far? Kalau ada soalan sebelum kita start yang baru punya. Okay, kalau ada just type there. Human capital, antara program penting dan one of our ex-prime minister and being called as father of human capital. Okay, ketika beliau memperkenalkan satu konsep modal manusia. Tapi untuk Malaysia ni dipanggil juga modal insan. Alright? Okay. Alright, semua faham senang kan? Modal insan. Okay. What is capital? Modal. Apa tu modal? It's something that you're going to use to build up more income. Kind of an investment and for you to run the project or business, and as a result of that you're going to get and uh, something in return, and maybe a bigger thing. Kalau kita use money as a capital, we want that money to grow, kan? Kita katalah gunakan modal 10,000, kita nak dapat balik 50,000. Tapi kalau kita jadikan manusia itu modal, what mean by that? And so we are the capital because we can produce that sources of income. Where the money come from that capital, where, who manage it, macam mana diuruskan. So pengurusan seseorang yang mempunyai keinsanian, kemanusiaan, nilai, kan, and character and charisma, so this person can bring more in return. Macam tu maksud dia. So if all of our citizens in this country becoming a part of the human capital, how big is the return? Go back to the country. Itu maksud dia. Nilai yang manusia itu bawa dan pulangannya lebih hebat lagi. Alright, that is the concept. That's the idea. Okay, here the definition: empowering people, individu including community. Kita nak perkasakan, perkuatkan perolehan manusia tu, individu termasuk community. Let's say you yourself as a person, what can you build up and for benefit of others? So if we work it together, all these individu in a teamwork, and so it make the team work. So it's going to be bigger than what it's supposed to be. Sebab the combination. Sometimes maybe you think I can produce 10. Your friend can produce 10 things. If we work together, we might produce 20 because 10 plus 10 equals 20. The difference here is that when you work together, you might most probably produce more than 20. Maybe 30 or 40. It's going to be double. That's how the world look like. And the world have been shaped in that form. Sebenarnya kalau kita bekerjasama, benda tu dah lah mudah. Malah hasilnya juga sangat hebat. Berbanding kalau kita buat seorang. Kita tahu dah. Tapi kita sangka kalau kita buat seorang, kita boleh hasilkan sesuatu benda tu, kan? Seperti yang kita buat. Kalau kita campur dengan dia, bertambah baik lagi. Sebenarnya kalau kita buat bersama-sama, hasilnya mungkin berganda-ganda daripada yang sepatutnya. Okay, supposed to be like that. Sebab tu dalam Islam pun dia menggalakkan solat jemaah. Malah solat jemaah tu punya jauh beza 27 kali ganda. Macam mana tu? If you understand how is 27 times greater than a single performance of prayer individually, so you might think keberkatan perolehan daripada kerjasama dalam masyarakat berbeza. Alright? Okay. Hope you get it. Element involved in human would be physical. Yes, we want to have a strong physical, especially doing your diet, eating a good habit, lifestyle. Okay, go for exercise, play a sports, and do workout. Have aerobic activity. So kena ada fizikal yang kuat. Saya pernah melaluinya. Kalau kita lemah, terlalu banyak sakit. So strengthening and your muscle and your bones, and it help to give impact to your internal organ. Spiritual, yes, we have talked this in some topic before, like religion, and some of you have made the video. So I hope that the others keep it up with your performance. Kita tinggal seminggu lagi sebelum kita ada exam ni. Hopefully siapkan cepat. Sebenarnya last by this week, Okay, kalau boleh lah. Okay. Every single of us need to prepare the spiritual and in a high level, because those people who have low spiritual normally involved in a lot of problems, and not just he himself or herself. It's going to be including others. Orang yang lemah dalam jiwanya, dia akan menyebabkan masalah bukan pada diri saja, tapi melibatkan orang lain. Dan orang lain terkesan dengan permasalahan dia tu. Okay, alright. And then yes, equipped with knowledge, our intelligence. We need to bear in mind that knowledge is a part of value in human capital. Skills, kita perlu ada kemahiran. Banyak yang boleh kita dapat. Siapa yang rajin boleh belajar, kan, kepelbagaian kemahiran yang ada. You might be expert in ECE because you are, or maybe you are in business, maybe you are a part of accounting, but at the same time you do have other skills. Mungkin juga you pandai masak, ataupun you kreatif, boleh buat graphic design, and so on. Values and ethic, ada nilai dan etika. Kita nak masukkan adab dan akhlak ni. Macam mana seseorang manusia tadi itu berdepan dengan manusia lain. Walaupun dia mungkin pakar dan pandai dalam satu bidang, tapi macam mana nak menjaga etika pekerjaan dia, professional dia. Because some people, most of the people, because of their intelligence, knowledge and expertise in that skill field, they might take advantage, abusing their own skill tadi. Selalu saya share. Accountant contohnya, kan. Especially dekat bank. Let's say if you take RM1 from each of the account, who realize it? And then you become rich because of that. So this is some abusing of your own power that you have. So kita nak tanamkan etika tadi. Satunya mungkin ia sangat bernilai kepada honor. Who knows, keberkatan yang ada pada nilai, bukan semata-mata jumlah. Kan? Kita ambil RM1, tapi mungkin RM1 itu sangat bernilai ketika dia perlu keluarkan RM10, tapi dia sebenarnya short RM1. Dah, kan? Dia dah rugi dah in 1 cent. Kita pula mencuri. And what you get from that stole things? That's what happened. Bukan kaya pun. Kalau kita cuba jadi kaya sebabkan stealing ni, we might lost in this world, or apparently we might lost in the hereafter. Lastly, we have mind and moral, kan? Kita nak jaga kita punya minda dan juga perilaku kita. Kita bukanlah nak mencarut depan orang, especially nowadays, kan? All the netizen using all those words to blame others, to accuse others, to maybe we can say fire and sound, kan, other people kita panggil, kan. Mungkin juga kita mengapikan, menjadi orang tengah yang menyemarakkan lagi, kan. That's something. Actually it happened. That's the worrying part. Bila saya involve baru-baru ni, kan, dengan dunia online, saya nampak terlalu banyaknya masyarakat yang cuba menyebarkan berita berunsurkan fitnah, kan? And sengaja pula tu, and suka pula, kan, jadi orang macam tu, kan? So this is something wrong, so this is what Pak La, our ex-Prime Minister, fight for last time. And sebab tu kita masih kekalkan human capital ni daripada chapter Malaysian Study. Okay, the importance of human capital would be benefit our future. Sepatutnya kalau semua orang mempunyai nilai tadi, maka keuntungan kembali kepada negeri dan negara. Contoh, hari ini kalau kata negeri Selangor berdepan dengan masalah air, bukanlah semua orang merungut. Mungkin juga Selangor telah memberi segala kebaikan seperti 20 cm padu kan, percuma kepada setiap rumah. Maka kita hilang berapa hari, mungkin juga mencecah minggu, tapi kita boleh bersabar. It's okay. Before this, we get a lot. And this is not intentionally to cut off something. So kita terima. So benefit for the future. Generate income. Modal insan tadi, mendatangkan pendapatan. Selangor antara yang kaya. Dan hari ini fitnah juga dikatakan kepada kerajaan Selangor untuk diambil alih kuasanya. Those people who want to take over and overrule others, this is something that we need to bear in mind. Bukanlah salah, seperti yang saya sebut sebelum ni, yang nak cuba mengusahakan, macam kes Noor Ibrahim sendiri, cuba mengambil alih daripada Tan Sri Muhyiddin. Muhyiddin sendiri pun dia kata stop, dia nak continue to govern the country. So macam berlaku perebutan, and maybe in one sense is that those people need to cooperate. Yang kita bimbang kalau kita cuba menegakkan benang yang basah. If you fail, you need to step down. Give to someone else better. Kita mungkin kalau kita mengenali dia, cek sahsiah dia, cek juga siasah dia. Sahsiah dan siasah. Sahsiah kepribadian dia. Siapa ni Anwar Ibrahim? Kenapa dia perlu jadi PM? Kenapa dia perlu jadi PM? Macam tu lah. Sebab Muhyiddin pernah kata, mungkin kita bukanlah kerajaan yang dipilih oleh rakyat. Dia pun tahu, kan? He aware, kan? Tapi inilah mungkin kerajaan yang diperlukan rakyat. Alright. Yes, during that time kita terimalah kata-kata dia. Tapi hari ini, when it happens in such a way, disaster, kan? Maybe you should think about something else. Give way to others. Assist the government. Kita nak membantu government kita supaya government boleh stabil. Especially in management side lah. Okay, next we have trust. Tunjang, antara perkara utama modal insan adalah ibu bapa sendiri, termasuklah guru, di sekolah dan universiti, dalam pendidikan dan pembelajaran, dalam latihan dan persembahan, dan kita nak dari sudut pandangan dan adanya gerakan. If one go through one by one, you might have a lot of example here. And parents, of course, role model, teacher should be the one who give a lot of input. School is the place that they learn. University is where they going to practice it. Education, yes, we want the system to enlighten the student with all the values, and we want them to get something from their learning process and keep on continuing training themselves even after the school time, and try to achieve the best performance of their life. And they need to have this perspective of, we want the value to be separate, and everyone should have this kind of good ethics and progress, and keep on process. Is a long term achievement, macam tu, to simplify lah. Alright. Okay, continue. If you have you need details, please ask. Measures, macam mana kita nak ambil tindakannya? Service system, meaning sistem perkhidmatan perlu ditambah baik, especially on the government side, and we need the people to be happy with the service that provide by the government. Sebenarnya ketika rakyat pergi menghadap badan kerajaan yang memberi perkhidmatan, kita bos, They are the slave of us. Because all the tax are been given to them as their salary to serve us. Kan? Sepatutnya begitu. Kita pergi ke sekolah, kita sepatut dilayan oleh pihak sekolah. Kita pergi ke mana bidang kerajaan, kita patut dilayan, kan? Di mana-mana bangunan kerajaan. Okay? Sebab serving us. Okay. Economic region, kita nak bidang dan pengawasan ekonomi kita ditingkatkan. Macam mana kita nak tahu? Look at our today goods, today material and item, the pricing. Kita dah bincang pun sebelum ni. Technology supply, alhamdulillah, we get a lot and we are upgrading, and we can see that the technology and very fast and updated, and we are lucky. Kita bersyukurlah part ni. Saya pun sendiri sebenarnya sedikit ketinggalan daripada hal teknologi yang terkini. Sorry, interrupted dengan call tadi. Corporate responsibles, when you have the values inside you, you already producing to others, and you already gaining a lot of income. It's your job to give back. It's like Abid Liu have done today, kan? Sebabkan dia berjaya dengan value yang dia ada, dia cuba membawa orang lain juga berjaya bersama-sama, dan akhirnya dia tunjukkan satu tauladan untuk diikuti dengan membantu semula kepada masyarakat. Alright, molding. Kita nak membentuk dari dalam diri manusia tadi, dari sudut kerohanian, keagamaan dia. So this is the part that you need to build up, religiosity, kan? Okay. Meaning, if you are religious, you might learn to be humble, to be patient, to be positive. Okay, itu contohlah. Bila kita belajar beragama ni, kita belajar berterima kasih, kita belajar memberi. Okay, abilities. Yes, we want to be a person who have a lot of idea, a lot of we can call capabilities, kan? Kemampuan tadi, kebolehan tadi, macam tu. Maknanya boleh buat macam-macam, kan? For example lah, let's say many of us right now have been sacked from their job and fired from their workplace. So if they have other things inside them, abilities, and just now they can still survive, and of course from the help of the government itself, and make it happen better. Dan mungkin juga ramai yang terlibat dalam masakan hari ini sebab masih laku, kan? Ataupun mungkin juga ada yang suka travel, so dia suka hantar barang. Okay. Self-reliant, boleh bersifat kendiri, berdikari, independent, and you can do it yourself. You know how to deal with things. It's like our Malay proverb say, if we put you in the ocean, you're going to become an island. If I put you in the desert, you become a forest. Macam tu. Pernah dengar pepatah tu? Apa dia? Maksud dia? Kalau dicampak ke laut, akan jadi pulau. Orang ni hebatnya dia, kan? Kalau campak ke gurun, akan jadi hutan pelantara. Maksudnya dia betul-betul hebat. That is why some people know something because of the status they hold. But for those who great people, we know the post because that people hold it. Sampai tahap macam tu. Okay, saya cuba ulang. Ada orang kita kenal dia disebabkan dia pegang jawatan. Oh, Muhyiddin Yassin, dia pegang jawatan PM. Ada orang kita kenal jawatan itu kerana dia yang pegang. Kan? Kehebatan dia, kan? Orang kenal dia kerana dia. Dan baru kita tahu jawatan itu terkenal disebabkan dia. Kan, contohnya macam kita kenal siapa? Donald Trump contohnya. Sebab jawatan dia, kan. Ada tak selain daripada dia yang kita kenal? Begitu hebat. Okay. Katalah saya minat dalam bidang motivation. Saya kenal Anthony Hopkins, pelakon yang betul-betul berkarisma. Ataupun kita ada Mark Zuckerberg. Kita kenal dia sebab apa? Sebabkan dia mencetuskan Facebook. Kita kenal Jack Ma, pencetus kepada market sales online, macam tu. Okay? Sebelum tu kita tak kenal siapa pun yang online. Kita kenal Jack Ma sebab apa? Sebab dia hebat memegang jawatan tu. Right? Ataupun Dr. Azizan. Sebelum ni mana ada siapa kenal orang-orang yang buat sales di Malaysia ni. Tapi we know this is the person always available anywhere, and especially Facebook. Okay, panjang pula tu. Love, affection, yes, kita nak ada kasih sayang. Ini masuk kasih sayang. Kenapa dia tambah love and affection ni? Dia tambah sebab dia nak manusia Malaysia hari ni mempunyai kasih sayang yang begitu tinggi. Kata mudah macam Abid Liu lah. Kan? Betul-betul nampak dia punya sayang daripada masyarakat. Kan? PM kita hari ni yang prihatin. Nampaklah. Cuma kesilapan dia bila COVID ni naik. Kan? Kita nampak dia begitu prihatin. Tapi akhirnya dia pun kecundang. Kan? Walaupun kita belum kalah. Kan? Tapi nampak kan? Begitu teruk kali ni. Kita punya kegagalan dia. Macam tu. Patriotism, kita nak tanamkan semangat kenegaraan. Of course, kita utamakan negara kita dulu sebelum ke tempat lain. Bukanlah salah, kita bantu negara lain. Tapi kita nak bantu negara kita terlebih dahulu, hopefully in that such a way. Plural society, kita boleh hidup masyarakat yang majmuk bersama-sama. Jangan ada unsur-unsur yang melibatkan perkauman. Contoh kadang-kadang kita viralkan, ni lelaki India. Kenapa kita kena tulis lelaki India? Kita kata je lah lelaki di Malaysia ni. Tak kira lah dia bangsa apa pun, dia Malaysia. Kalau kita kata India, kita seolah macam semua India macam tu. So kita macam generalize. Walaupun berlaku, contoh macam kawan saya dia kata, kalau dia deal dengan China je mesti ada problem. Saya pula deal dengan masyarakat lain, okay. They respect. Deal dengan Melayu ni problem. Tapi saya taklah kata semua Melayu macam tu. Saya kata this is how they are. We want to change. We want to upgrade our levels. Okay, sikit lagi. Task today. Habis dah rupanya. Make a PowerPoint presentation about your own value and virtues. Alright. I think very easy. PowerPoint mungkin just one slide. Ataupun if you want to do several, this is up to you. What is your value? What is your virtues? Macam tu. Apa nilai kita? Apa kemurnian kita? Kita share dengan orang lain. Macam mana Abid Liu buat? Mungkin dia senaraikan, bagi nasihat and those things. You can do the same. Very easy. I think very easy. Alright, any question? Cover 2 topik hari ni. Sempat habis rupanya. 40 minutes kita cover. Cuma banyak saya cut tadilah kan. Kalau nak more details, you let me know. Sebab kita pun sebenarnya dah banyak dah buat kelas kan. Syarat untuk kita lepas face to face session ni, live session, live class ni ialah 12 hours. So kalau kita attend semua kelas from the beginning, we have 14 weeks. Kita dah buat 14 jam. Belum termasuk yang mana yang datang jumpa saya macam Ika dengan Hasnizah itu. Itu extra lagi lah. Alright. Yang jauh okey, saya faham lah. Aziz banyak kali nak try setting dengan saya pula kan yang missing kan. Okay. Alright, so far up to this point, any question? Okay, the other hours, I might share with you the video from the YouTube link for you to get some idea about what the world all about, especially environment wise. Aziz, clock in. For me, it's okay actually. Of course, the recording going to be for the dean, kan? Dean kita ni lah, Madam Nadia akan record benda tu, and but of course we understand, and some people, some student might miss it out. This is the technical things, kan? It's okay. Boleh je clock out on time, ataupun boleh je clock in juga anytime you remember. Katalah tiba-tiba teringat clock in pukul 10 dah, tak apa, kan? It's okay. It also happen within the staff tu, kan? Kadang-kadang staff pun macam tu juga, kan? So kita kena terima, dan boleh, saya okay je, no problem. As long as you are here, I'm consider you are attending the class. Okay, any other things? So up to this point, Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for your attention. We have covered the whole semester, 14 weeks. I think maybe more than that. Kan? Mungkin lah. So let's conclude our Malaysian study subject. What left is your task to be completed. Try your best to complete all of it. If you have problem, you might complete below the standard requirement, and as you wish, as you can, and for preparing the exam, preparing the exam, it's going to be all chapters. Because we have ABC, true, false, fill blank. But I'm thinking about kind of open book question. It's easy for you to answer. It's your own perspective, and it's going to be avoiding copy paste or cheating. Okay, so I'm already discussed with Hasniza last time, and this one. Normally I going to do 8 question of essay. And saya akan bagi essay 8 soalan. Setiap soalan 5 marks. Total become 40 marks. So 5 each, you need to answer within 2 hours on that Saturday. Is it? I think Saturday, kan? What you need to do is to divide your time, half an hour, maybe 15 minutes per question. 15 minutes per question, 5 points, because 5 marks. So it's like you answer sejarah, 5 points. If you want to get full mark, you should have content, including explain and some example. Cukup 3 tu 1 markah maksimum tu. Kalau nak buat elaboration, huraian lagi, penjelasan lagi, terpulang. Okay, manage your time lah to fulfill all the answer tu. Okay, so let's say kita ada 8 soalan datang dari 8 chapters lah. Chapters yang tengah-tengah tu yang penting, kan? Maybe including this one, kan? But of course, I think you can refer to notes, as long as what you answer is from your own ideas and perspective. Saya plan macam tu lah. Yes. It could be a part of your opinion, but the point should be there. Let's say, katalah saya tanya, okay, please explain about 3 trust in human capital. So this is the point. So you kena ada 5 point kat sini. Mana-mana you ambil, let's say parent and teacher, explain example. School, university, explain example. Education, learning, explain example. Training, performance, explain example. Senang je. Perspective, progressive, explain example. If you copy paste, let's say if you copy paste, is there any chance that you're going to get minus or marks? Maybe. Kan? Nampak macam copy paste daripada mana-mana. And of course lecturer knows. And when you become a teacher, you also know. And which student and try to just copy paste. So copy paste instruction yang saya bagi affects marks. Sama ada saya boleh bagi 0 ataupun saya bagi juga markah. It depends lah. And but as long as as long as you have it answer, you should get marks. And you mesti dapat markah. And katalah full mark 5, mungkin you dapat 3 ataupun 2 kan. Because you just copy paste. Tapi kalau you kata, alamak saya memang susah nak copy paste sebab saya jujur. So bila soalan tu saya kan blur, saya pun tinggal. You tinggal kosong jawapan, ada markah tak? Susahlah saya nak bagi markah. Okay, that's how it should be. Okay, ada yang tanya apa lagi? Contoh paper ada ke? Faham. Contoh paper, I think you can get it from library. Tadi pun ada yang share, tapi tu kelas lain. Subjek lain. Malaysia Study, I try to search for it and for you to get some idea how to answer the question. Ataupun if you want, kita dah pernah buat quiz exercise ke? Ada ke? If you want, I can share with you lah the exercise quiz ni. Okay, kalau nak boleh saya bagi dan contoh macam mana soalan jenis saya. Okay, right. Belum okay, nanti saya share. I think saya ada 3 quiz. Quiz ni saya readykan untuk kelas biasa sebenarnya. Sebab kelas part time ni dia banyak buat task kan. Okay. Dan kelas biasa they are full time, so they have a lot of spare relax to do those exercise. Okay. Alright, okay, saya boleh share nanti lagi soalan lain kalau ada. Tapi contohlah macam bila tanya, okay, contoh macam ni lah kan. Contoh soalan saya tanya berkaitan dengan tunjang ni. Ataupun pernah juga saya tanya soalan sesimpel apa tadi? Sesimpel katalah chapter environment ni kan. Okay. Explain pollution. 5 marks. Water, air, land, sound. Apa satu lagi? So search for it. Ada tak satu lagi jenis pencemaran sebenarnya? Alright. Okay. Kalau contoh ni explain berkaitan dengan impact disaster destruction lah. So bagi 5. Alright. Okay, that's some example. Ada lagi soalan? Ada pencemaran bunyi. Yes, pencemaran bunyi, yes. Salah satunya sound. Sound dah ada kat sini. Pencemaran bunyi ada, land ada, air ada, water ada. Ada tak pencemaran lain? Kalau ada lah. If you can think of something. Let's say lah you kata, alamak tak ada rasa. So what do? You might give more example on other. And you maybe water or air, you give an extra example. And so it's going to consider half marks for each point extra, so you get 1 mark full. Macam tu lah. Okay. Sound, land, air. Let's say lah if there is any. Maybe you want to differentiate between things ke kan. pencemaran manusia. Ada tak pencemaran manusia? Macam tu lah, contoh nak tambah kan. Pencemaran bau. Bau boleh, bau kan. Pencemaran bau. Ada ke pencemaran bau? Kan? It might happen. Contoh. Okay. Tapi let's say lah you kata pencemaran bau. Logik ke ni? Saya macam tak logik sir. You letak pun saya dah bagi markah dah. You think creatively. Betul lah. Kan? Pencemaran bau, it happen. Contohnya kebersihan lah. Masuk dalam tanda. Oh, bau. So we need to educate people about cleanliness. Ataupun kena apa? Kena perfume, using good smell and odor, kan? Okay. Alright. Ada lagi soalan? Okay, I'm really happy with all of you showing your commitment, being in the class and all the time, or at your best, try to fulfill all the requirement and task given as what you can provide, and hopefully see you around in the future semester. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much again. I'll be sending maybe in the WhatsApp for the quiz exercise. Assalamualaikum.